Hey Tooth Fairy, welcome to today's episode where, full disclosure, I literally almost just forgot to grab my microphone. So I'm not sure how this would have turned out without that, but no worries. So it's June at the time of this recording, and I thought it'd be a good time to talk about, the thing I always talk about, muscle imbalances. But reason being, if you've been in pain or experienced some sort of discomfort for the first half of the entire 2024 year, I don't want you to experience pain for the second half of this year. I don't want that for anybody. So today we're going to be talking about my 3 steps to correct muscle imbalances to get rid of pain and have longevity, not only for your career, but for your life overall. So let's get started.
Hey there! Welcome to the Lift for Longevity podcast, where our goal is to build our strongest, healthiest body. We all deserve to feel our best, but since we only get one body, we have to make sure to protect it by moving safely and with purpose to prevent pain, injury, and surgery. I'm your host, Brianne, and I'm a fit pro turned business owner and also a girl mom. I'm obsessed with educating and empowering dental pros on how to take care of their body by training efficiently and building the right muscles to prolong their career. I know you're tired of spending time working out but still dealing with annoying aches and pains, getting rid of your pain temporarily only to have it come right back just a few hours later, or feeling like you never have any energy. You wish there was a long-term solution to get rid of your pain for good. Well, I'm here to give you real-life, actionable steps that you can take today to get rid of your pain, say goodbye to quick fixes, and have energy to live a life that you love. So if you're ready to get stronger, enjoy your life outside the operatory, and have longevity in your career, grab yourself a high-protein snack and let's get to it.
Okay, so if you followed me at all or listened to any of my podcasts, you know that I really like to educate hygienists and just create awareness overall of why are all these temporary fixes not working, right? What do we need to do to be comfortable, right? At the end of the day, to get rid of this chronic pain and tension, tightness, discomfort, have energy, right? Just have quality of life, right? That's what it's about. But perfect example is I signed up a new gentleman a couple days ago, and he started working on his own. He's like, well, I have low back pain, but I've been working my glutes and core because Brianne said so, right? Or I've been tucking my pelvis under, but he kept trying to correct things on his own. And he kept tucking his pelvis so much that it was making more back pain, right? Creating more pain. Or he'd try to keep his shoulders pulled back all day, but that's not natural if you don't have the muscular system to sustain that. So he was kind of trying to figure things out on his own, and it just doesn't work like that. We can't force our body to do things, right? Our body's in compensation mode, right? Our bodies are so smart. They're trained to take the path of least resistance. For example, I had a girl yesterday, her rib cage was super flaring. I'm like, well, right, because your posterior rib cage is so compressed that your body is seeking a breath. It's seeking that path of least resistance. So it's opening up that rib cage so that it's able to take a deep breath because it's not able to breathe properly, right? So I don't want to get too nitty gritty into this, but there's so much going on. It's so complex and people don't realize that. I have a girlfriend, her gait is off because she has a missing tooth in her back, one of her molars. I don't know what side it is, but so that's your jaw is a stabilizer for your whole body, right? Everything's connected. So we can't just go fix one area. We can't just go do certain exercises to strengthen our back, right? We need to get to the root of why is our back weak? Why are we having pain here, right? So the first thing that I want to touch on, the first step is something that I do with every single client, within a week of starting with me is it's basically my comprehensive exam, right? Of course, I'm not looking in their mouth, but I need to see the whole picture, right? I'm looking at their posture. I am assessing their mechanics, right? What is compensating? What imbalances are present so that I know what corrective exercises to prescribe them, right? We can't just guess. Of course, our serratus anterior is weak and almost every single hygienist that I work with, but we can't just go doing serratus anterior exercises. We have to figure out why is it weak, right? So that's the the first part, is we need to identify our imbalances. Just like if you go to PT, right? They're not just going to give you exercises. They're going to assess you, right? They're going to do an evaluation just like you do with a new patient. So why aren't you doing that with your body? It doesn't make sense. And, it's probably the part of the fitness industry, right? We don't do that. We don't teach that, but it's so important. Or just like if you were to meet with a nutritionist, right? They're going to go over, probably your stats, give you some, check some biofeedback markers, whatever they're going to do, and just kind of see maybe what are you eating for the past weeks or whatever. Like, they're going to need more information, gather information. That's what we have to do, because if we don't know what's broken, quote unquote broken, I don't like to use that term, but how do we know what to fix, right? Okay, so that's step one. Step two is where I find the big gap in essentially the fitness industry overall, but especially with hygienists is, I've had a lot of hygienists tell me like, oh, I do Beachbody, or I do CrossFit, or I don't even know. There's, I hear different things all day, every day. I don't pay attention to any of it because it's all crap. Because reason being, a lot of our pain, so our joints act and our muscles react, right? So if you're, rounding your shoulders all day, your muscles are following, right? Or if your head's coming forward, your cervical spine, then your muscles are following, right? That's just how it's working, right? Gravity's pushing you down, and so it's causing pain because it's a postural distortion, right? And so the first thing we need to do, is restore our posture, but how we do that is through tailored exercises. So if you have these postural distortions, right, forward head, rounded shoulders, and you're going and working out like that, you have overactive muscles and you have underactive muscles that are weak. And then you go work out, even if you're not working out, whatever you're doing throughout your day is you're continuously working these overused muscles, neglecting the weak muscles over and over and over and over. You're reinforcing that pattern, just like if you have a crooked tooth. Every time you bite, every time you clench, every time you chew, right? It's reinforcing that. So what we do in my Lift for Longevity method is we flip the script, right? We focus and hone in on building those weak underactive muscles through tailored exercises, right? So that we can restore our posture and build a balanced body. That's how you're not going to have to go to the chiro. That's how you're not going to have to do the, the acupuncture, or the dry needling, or the cupping, or, whatever it is that you're doing, even Advil. Like, there's a better way. We have to retrain our body to work together as a system. Okay, so that's a step two, is tailored exercises. And then step three is probably my favorite part of working with clients is, they have everything they need. They're going through, their workouts, their warm-ups, their cool downs, whatever it may be. They're doing it on their own. But each week they send me their videos so that I can review them and give them feedback, because anybody can give you exercises. Cool, great. Well, guess what? You think you're doing things right, but you're not. I see this every week. There's so many. It's the little details, right? Just like Stephanie Botts talks about in ergonomics. Like, it's the little details that matter. It's the same thing in fitness, right? You don't want to have a death grip. You don't want to turn your wrist all crazy. You don't want to, you don't want your chest dropping when you're squatting. You need your shoulders pulled back. You need your chin tucked. And these, it's not even that simple too, because once you add in, say, a hinge, right, where you're keeping your chin tucked, shoulders pulled back, shooting the hips back, right? There's so many elements at play that it's like, wait, what? Tuck, pull back. Like, it's just so much. So it's important that you have a set of eyeballs on you, meaning me as your personal trainer in your back pocket, to review your form and give you feedback. And I'll give you an example. I had a client last week. She sent me an exercise, and she had way too much range of motion. She was just doing way too much, putting all this excessive tension on her shoulder joint. And I gave her feedback, and she sent me a video, of her implementing my corrections. And I literally told her, I'm like, I am blown away by how well you took my feedback and implemented it. Like, that was perfect. It's not always that simple. Sometimes, if it's unfamiliar movement, it might take time, but like, that's what it's about. It's about doing things efficiently and safely, because as I say all the time, like, that is the name of the game. We need to make sure that we're doing things safely, like our core is properly engaged. I skipped over that. That's part of my evaluation process, and my first step to identifying imbalances is just showing you how to create that proper stack of the rib cage and pelvis. But anyways, I digress. I'm getting too nitty gritty now, but that's something that we have to take with us in every single activity that we do throughout the day, whether it's, at work or in the gym or at home when we're working out, whenever, it's like, it's so important to do things efficiently, because what the hell is the point of doing it if you're not doing it efficiently? And I see it every single week. It's like you think you're doing it right because you've been doing it that way for so long. Or like, oh yeah, like I notice my knee, goes in and out when I'm lunging. Well, that's a problem. Like, you're going to get injured. Like, we need to peel back the onion and, kind of see what's going on with our body, and so that we know how to fix it so that we can progress, right? Because otherwise, if you're just going and working out with imbalances, it's kind of like you're running a marathon before doing a 5K. Like, it's way too much. It's like my version of like, let's get an SRP and then we maintain that, right? So, because then once you hit that 12 weeks and you're out of pain, which could happen before, but then we progress to where we want to go, right? Whatever our goals may be. So at the end of the day, that is what I'm trying to share, is like, there's a method to my madness. We have to identify imbalances. We have to have those tailored exercises, but we also have to have those exercises being reviewed every single week so that we know what we're doing is efficient, to get the most or the best results, the most success, right? So that we don't have to, go back to our old ways, right? Fix our body, essentially, quote unquote, so that it's balanced, so that we don't have pain, and that we understand moving forward how to properly work out, for not only for our career, but for our life, right? And that's my goal for everybody. So that being said, if you are interested in potentially applying to be a client of mine, I do have an application, and I will link it in the show notes for you. So feel free, if you're serious, because I really like to take people who are committed and know that, yes, I'm in control of my physical health. I have the power to change it, and I'm going to do whatever it takes, right? That's my vibe, and that is the vibe of the people that I work with. So if that sounds like you, go ahead and apply. And then if it sounds like would be a good fit, my team will reach out to you. So thank you so much, and shoot me any DMs with any questions you might have. And other than that, I will catch you all later.
Thank you so much for listening in today. I hope you got a takeaway from this episode. And if you did, would you be so kind to share it with another dental pro you think would benefit from it? I know you love learning, and chances are that they do too. Also, I would love to connect with you on Instagram, so go ahead and head over to the Lift for Longevity podcast page or follow me at Built by Brianne. If you shoot me a message saying hello, I will personally respond because I love chatting with dental pros. Before you go, though, I want to let you know that I appreciate you and what you do, and I hope to chat soon. Until next time, stay strong.